Hey, how you doing, everyone? Sorry for the long, not making videos. I was busy. Anyway, yeah, I got some bad news. If you already heard on the internet that the reboot of Maula Jatt has possibly been cancelled. Or probably being delayed, or so far, the studios or producers are arguing who owns the property rights to it. Overall, the annoying part is this film has been confirmed in 2012 that it's going to be remade and rebooted. However, now the producers or the film studios is now complaining that they are not going to allow the director or the creator to make the movie due to copyright or stealing the name, including the character's name. Alright, but the problem is, it took them 4 years to finally actually apply. They made their excuse, saying, oh, we've been sending many messages. I don't know, I find that quite hard to believe, as things like that in Pakistan, big bosses like that don't really care about to not pay attention. But when this thing gets bigger and gets bigger, then they're singing, oh, maybe we should get concerned because it's going to be a big money profit there. So I'm thinking we should now intervene and stop this because we want the credit. Alright, looks like, yeah, it sounds like the movie's going to be stopped. And I'm not happy about that. I'm a big martial art nut-maniac. And any of you understand that the Maula Jatt and the stick fighting scenes are martial arts. Okay, and why meaning martial arts? You always thinking the Japanese of karate, judo, aikido, the other one called shoot boxing or sumo wrestling. That's their martial arts. China, kung fu, wushu, wing chun, tai chi or Chinese kickboxing or Chinese boxing. Or Thailand, Muay Thai. Philippines, Kali, and Indonesia, I can't remember their name of that martial art. Since I'm watching the Raid movies and Headshot, that's an awesome martial art movies. But especially like with India's, like you know India and Pakistan. Yeah, it turns out they've been doing martial art movies, but they never been noticed, or they decided to call them martial art movies. If you can recognize the stick fighting, since Pakistan's only most common martial art movies are the stick fighting or crazy swinging melee movies. But the only ones I don't like in the Pakistani Punjabi, well, all the Pakistani films that had fight scenes and martial arts scenes were all Punjabi films. Like, including, I always forget this, like, hard-working Punjabi action icon, Sultan Raya, R-A-H-I, that's his name, like, that's his family surname. Yeah, bloody pro that guy is. He's a Punjabi film veteran. Okay, and probably actually one of the best Punjabi film action stars to ever lived. His acting skills were mostly just one character like every else action icon like Steven Seagal and Chuck Norris. But anyway, I'm just not happy that they're removing it, cause I want to support the traditional Punjabi stick fighting. That there's actually countless traditional stick fightings in South Asia. Like, I can't say the names because they're complicated. I just know the one called, which was made by the Sikhs, called G-A-T-K-A? Gatka or something. And Pakistan, after the partition, all that, Pakistan, they did brought it over. I don't know. They never really identify it as a martial art. They just noticed it was a fighting style, but then not really to carry the name on. Like, all the Punjabi films were all about the stick fighting tradition or melee fighting or then guns. Most of the Punjabi films were mostly badly choreographed because they just did up close of the character swinging his axe sword or stick, and then they just show a cutscene of the continuity and show the person that he was swinging at. He just shows him flying backwards, saying "Ah!" I like it when it's a widescreen where they're showing a bunch of characters with melee weapons, and next they're showing the colliding of fight choreograph or fight coordinating of them colliding with sticks or colliding with fists, and carefully choreographed, and you see the techniques and see how it's work, of how it's being deflected. That's why I know this. And I've been doing karate for 10 years. Yes. And I'm not saying, yes, karate is different, but then remember, ancient Indian martial arts came from China. Then ancient Chinese martial arts came from... Wait, oh, fuck, I said the wrong way. Well, you probably know me by now. Let's see. Old ancient Japanese martial arts, where you can... Old Japanese martial arts came from China. Chinese martial arts came from India. If you notice all the stretching and yoga before they do that, yes, that's a yoga trait in India. Ancient India. The interesting part is now, as same as Pakistan, you can only find traditional sandpit wrestling kushti only in Punjabi sections of villages and giant farming fields where people just do it as part of their spare time. Let's see, farmers, they had to work like dogs all the time. It's bloody hard work, lot of back labor. But what do you do in their spare times? Oh, sports such as grappling a lot. Let's see, weightlifting and all that. And then, let's see, a very strong nutritional meal such as, like, strict about avoiding spices if they want to improve their body strength more. It's complicated, the deep depths of South Asian kushti. But originally that kushti actually came from ancient Persia, which is now Iran. And now that is also common. Turns out Iran right now, and still, they're actually one of the top countries for grappling Olympic wrestlings. They're one of the top countries. Moreover, they're actually... I hear they actually also they're the top wrestling country in the Middle East and Asia. Today's generation of Pakistani filmmaking has been a lot of fun, a lot of interesting, and I'm happy where it's going right now. Since the biggest consuming things that most people liked in Pakistan, especially from Indians, what they liked about Pakistan, were the dramas about relationship issues, marriage, love and all that. A middle class fall in love with an upper class and all that. An upper class fall in love with a middle class or a lower class. Those were the times of Pakistan. Love triangles. Today, yeah, Pakistan, they're gonna make they're making a lot of comedies and romance and thrillers. Not really action, because that's more of a special occasion. And yeah, they are on top of Hollywood and China's film industries, because yes, they are the top country for making more movies than the two of them, and also they're the top country for making more money. However, America is the top country for more Western critics liking their films, and China's the top country for best beat 'em up martial art films, the most talked about. Japan is getting somewhere around there too, especially South Korea, but they like doing a lot of thrillers and martial art films with historical. India, now they're stepping into the historical section with action, romance and all that, but historical section, I think, because today's new generations want something new, and so far I think Pakistan in that section is filling up the romance section. And yes, Pakistan's making very good romance movies, interesting stories about people's lifestyle and all that. But I really want to see the traditional stick fighting, and I'm not happy that Maula Jatt is being cancelled by a guy who's saying he has every right and saying some strong stuff, which I think they're really unfair to say. But I feel it's suspicious. It took 4 years for them to finally notice and say, no, we don't want you to make this movie because we own the rights. And what you been doing then? 4 years! Took that long? to decide that? 4 years! Okay, I want Pakistan to show their talents such as traditional stick fighting. People say it's gone, but then I noticed the traditional dancing. You know, today now, the Pakistan stick fighting, since it's all about things develop and change now, same with India, other of its ancient... Do you know India's ancient martial arts? Some of it is also dying out, but turns out you only can find it in deep, deep depths of villages and outside of cities in India. Or if you go into Bengali sections of outside of cities in Bengal, India, and see the villages there, here they actually do the traditional martial arts, such as melee weapons, and obviously lots of stick fighting too. Like today's Pakistan's Punjab, most common traditional martial art is sandpit wrestling kushti. You can never find it in cities in Pakistan, only in Lahore. But overall, you only can find in Punjabi sections of Pakistan. Okay, and you only can find, like, I don't know, there's like at least hundreds of wrestlers, maybe 500 at least, or maybe a growing number of 500 now. Like, but that's because it's just, those are hard-working back labor workers, and they do that in their spare time to build up muscle and all that. They do it because it's a good activity of sport and competition, but also because it's part of their job doing back labor farming. That's why Kushti is still very common in Pakistan, but it must grow more. It's an old ancient tradition. Kushti is sort of like dying some parts in India. Some parts, like, it died in some parts in Pakistan. It already died in Karachi. Well, that's because, let's see, Kushti wrestlers, they noticed it started becoming harder there, so they decided to move from there. Others who decided to leave it because they decided to stay put in the city. So others went and live in Punjab. And that is today. Today's, like, Western martial arts are popular in India and Pakistan, karate and all that. However, I need to just tell you something. Yeah, Kushti is also common in Nepal and Bangladesh, and it's the same story with them. It's not really common in the cities, only outside countrysides of farming too. I don't know about Sri Lanka. I know they had that other one. It's like it's a bit related to that ancient Indian martial art somewhere in Bengal. Bangalore, they use melee weapons, a bit like a Krav Maga style, like that. A lot of foreigners come over there to study it and practice it, or next they share ideas a lot. Oh, let's see, lots of countries from there, like Philippines, Israelis, who else visits Sri Lanka? Philippines, Israelis, Indonesians, Americans, Indians. No, did Indians visit? No, definitely the Nepalese. They have to, because there's a mercenary base there connected. I don't know. I'm not Sri Lankan myself. But that ancient Sri Lankan martial art, it's quite an interesting one too. They focus on going for the joints, the bones to take out the enemy, the throat. Like, it's just a proper war martial art. Sorry, since I'm a Desi South Asian guy, I just think it's the right thing to complain about. I want to see the Maula Jatt traditional stick fighting. There, I'm just gonna show you the video portion just to show you what I mean.
Everything in it, it all belongs to the film producer. It's film act accordingly. Let me clear this. We have sent the notices to them by post, and I personally sent those notices on their WhatsApp numbers. And even if they didn't receive any notice, I have advised to them to collect their notices from newspapers. Those notices are printed everywhere and they are circulating in all the media and social media. They must take those notices seriously and reply us with their standing as soon as possible on the given addresses on those notices, and they can contact me directly on my number. They have my number. And most importantly, we are warning Bilal Lashari and his father Kamran Lashari from a very long time. And we have published proofs of those warnings from the day he announced to make Maula Jatt in 2012 till now. The thing which I want to address that is going in people's mind is that we are doing this for money. Well, if securing our house from the robbers is for money, then we are justifying in doing it. We will not allow them or give any permission to remake Maula Jatt or use our characters to make any film with even different titles. We are looking forward to send them to jail for 3 years imprisonment or fine or both, as mentioned in the Copyright Ordinance 1962. Bilal Lashari is a spoiled child of a corrupt ex-civil servant, Kamran Lashari. Kamran Lashari had serious corruption charges against him in the FIA already. Today, Amara, Bilal and Nasir is also appearing in the FIA on our legal actions. We don't want their corrupt money because this money, we don't want their corrupt money. We don't want their corrupt money as this money has already made them blind, unethical and ignorant. We are so blessed by our Allah Almighty and His last Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his descendants that they are still unable to buy our expensive property even with all their money. We will keep on updating the media with every legal step we will take forward. Revive your ethics and you will be rewarded with aesthetics. And then you will see the real revival of our film industry. Otherwise, you are using this revival slogan for no reason. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but what took you so long? You didn't even mention it. It took you 4 years to actually finally retaliate if you were singing you were being robbed. It took you that long. I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. You must show proper proof. Yes, film industry is all about money, but in second most important after that is creativity. Obviously, in most film industries is all about money. That comes first. Second is about creativity. That's what I know is about film industries. But it takes you that long, and now it's being delayed even longer. The interesting part, they even got very interesting stuntmen on fight choreograph. I'll tell you, and these guys, they are veterans from Hollywood and United Kingdom. And now now they had to wait even longer. They're in the waiting list, and it's gonna take even longer. Even you're picking on a very hard-working film director and pushing around and calling him a thief. That guy is brilliant. He's a very good film director. He directed Wah. I wish he directed Yagar. I can't say it right. I don't like even want to say it. That disappointing military Pakistani action film about the war in SWAT called Assault or Attack, which that means in English, and I don't know what it says in translation in Urdu, but that's my problem. It's just we're only getting some action films coming out this year and next year. How long it's gonna take? Like This it's annoying about businessmen, especially people like Desi businessmen. It's just annoying, frustrating. Don't understand what's going on. Takes that long. 4 years has finally been announced that's gonna be stopped. Fine, how about you make it, but then leave the director out of it. Leave the father out of it. Talk about profit and business then. Okay, yes, the film industry is more higher than before. Like, but I want to see this Punjabi action flick with stick fighting.